Lagos holds Youth Symposium to mark one-year anniversary of NSAS protests. Lagos hosts 10th National Council on Lands, Housing and Urban Development. And state government launches the LASG regulatory functions. The Lagos state government has reaffirmed its commitment to empower the teeming youth and create an enabling environment for them to thrive. This was announced by the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at the Lagos Youth Symposium, which held at Blue Roof, Aginigbi, Ikeja, to mark the one-year anniversary of a massive protest against police brutality tagged NSAS.
Youths dressed in different uniforms turned up in large numbers at the Blue Roof in Aginigbi, Ikeja to be a part of the rebuilding process in the state after the massive destruction that followed the 2020 NSAS protests. A year after the protest against police brutality, the Lagos state government holds a youth symposium to help the teeming population and the authorities stay on the same page in terms of development plans that will also help prevent a repeat of the incident.
The energy of our teeming youth population, their motivation and vision are essential assets for positive social change and peace. However, there is no society that exists without conflicts arising. What is more important is for us to anticipate and be clearly focused in the way we negotiate through those conflicts. But what we have observed is that the aftermath of a negative conflict is never beneficial to the individual, to the society or community, or the nation at large, and even globally.
Some words of encouragement from the youths to their peers.
NSAS happened last year, but it won't happen again because now we are open to light. We now know what we want for our state because we know that if Lagos State is not suitable for us, we are the receiving end. So we must all put our hands together. We must all work with Lagos State government to ensure that we build a greater Lagos. It is not by we just saying it. It is by we taking action.
A true leader is somebody who is enthusiastic, somebody who is energetic, who has taken the decision to keep pushing regardless of whatever the situation might be.
Then the keynote speaker, Professor Wahab Elias, who is the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the Lagos State University, speaks on conflict resolution.
Nigeria is the 6th most populous country in the world with about 215 population. Mr. Governor, sir, may I also state that of these 215 million, it will surprise you that more than half can be said to be youth in Nigeria. Unfortunately, these 215 million that you find in Nigeria, 50% of that population reside in Lagos. Meaning that if you see 215 Nigerians, at least minimum of close to 30 are Lagos residents. Meaning that if you meet every 20 Nigerians, at least 3 lives in Lagos. Meaning that in a state that is so small in terms of contiguity, in terms of size, Lagos is the smallest in Nigeria. Yet, it occupies close to 1/4 of the entire population that we have in Nigeria. To that extent, it is not possible that we will not see something like a conflict. Conflict is expected, but what is most important is peaceful resolution of such conflict. When you have conflict, it affects sustainability. Conflict also engender poverty. Once you have conflict, there will be poverty in the land. Poverty also creates kind of insecurity. Insecurity also brings about hostility. Now we know what we are going through in terms of insecurity. Meaning that there's no better time to weather the storm of conflict than now. Meaning that we must strive to make sure that we have a kind of peaceful conflict that will not bring about insecurity as we had last year, and that will not bring about hostility.
Afterwards, some panelists share their views on how to rebuild Lagos without leaving anyone behind.
If you look
look at the SDG 16 on Sustainable Developmental Goals, you realize that it's about peace, justice, and building strong institutes. And that's what it's talked about. But I would like to buttress on it. How then do we create solutions? Let's now take it back home. Remember, we have two types of young people. We have the formal youth and we have the informal youth. So in order to be able to attend to the needs of the informal youth, we need to create a desk, a resolutional desk, conflict resolutional and dispute desk in every local government at the grassroots level. We need to have a virtual responsive channel that young people can lay out their grievances and we can get response promptly for the upcoming generations that are about technology, about building the smart city agenda. And of course, we cannot leave our parents out of it, like I said. Our teachers need to continuously have training to back our parents up. So where our parent fails because they are not professionals, these teachers step in from the primary level to the secondary level to the tertiary level. And then we can begin to form the kind of youth that we hope to see that will be emerging leaders to build the agenda of Lagos State, the smart city agenda.
We need to continue to reorientate our police and our law agencies. Now, from the people's perspective, again, it is very sensitive, but it is all about trust. And true peace is not an act. It is when parties step up, admitting areas of wrong and making repairs. It's very simple. From the government's, from the people's eye, the people would need the government to own up and take ownership and responsibility when necessary.
Everything that has been discussed at the panel. Now, I might say they might probably have not had a solid outcome, but I'm going to say yes, they've made progress. It's important that we document that progress, and it is also important that we reevaluate it and agree on contingencies.
3 goals are for ourselves. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu acknowledges all the points raised, saying the voice of the youth will now be given priority in governance.
Indeed, the solution is about ensuring that education, health, the human capital, that we do not relax on it. I want to assure you, Sheung, I've taken a picture with you here to say that I know that you're a very cerebral person. Education and health are the two principal things that hit our budget the most. Year on year, we've continued to increase our spend on education and health. And so I take your point very seriously that human capital in health, in education is the way to go. And we need to have an open door. That's why I don't keep any door. I don't have any door, but I need to say that to all of my staff and ensure that government needs to have an open door policy. Let all of us be able to do a role play. Say to yourself, if I'm governor for one day, how will I behave? What will I do differently? I also should be able to say to Prof that if I'm professor in LASU for one day, what do I need? What do they need that I need to provide for them? So wherever conversations are going on, you do not want us to shave your head in your absence. Is that not so? You want to be in the room when decisions are being made. But I understand what you mean, that we need to do a lot more. We need to do a lot more engagement, and we need to continue to listen and make sure that the people we're building the future for, that we're building it and we're building it together.
October 2020 itself is a date that will never be forgotten by Nigerians. But in Lagos State, the government says it's time to turn a new page to work with the youth for a peaceful state.